Stage 1. The first time. You are 17 and the pill is white and oval and it belongs to your mother. She takes them for her back, has since the surgery 3 years ago. There are always 14 in the orange bottle at the start of the month and sometimes 11 by the end, and she has never noticed the difference because she is managing pain, and pain management requires a specific kind of not noticing. You take one on a Friday in October because your shoulder hurts from practice, and because Tyler said they work better than Advil, and because the gap between those two reasons is smaller than it should be. You swallow it with Mountain Dew in Tyler's bathroom while his parents are at a dinner party in the kind of house where dinner parties happen. 20 minutes later, the pain in your shoulder is gone, not reduced. Gone. And something else happens that nobody warned you about. The anxiety you have carried since 7th grade, the low-level static that runs underneath everything, the voice that grades every interaction and finds it insufficient, that goes too. For 4 hours, you are exactly the weight you were supposed to be. No more, no less. You think this is what normal feels like. You do not know yet that what you felt was not normal. It was the ceiling, and you have just spent your entire life's tolerance on one Friday in October in Tyler's bathroom, which means everything that follows will be spent trying to get back to a place the ceiling will never let you reach again. But right now, the shoulder doesn't hurt, and the static is quiet, and Tyler is laughing about something in the other room, and you feel, for the first time in recent memory, completely fine. Stage 2. The middle distance. This part is invisible. That's what makes it dangerous. You are not an addict at this stage. You are a person who uses occasionally, then regularly, then as a matter of course, and the distance between those three descriptions is so gradual that there is no single moment where you cross a line. There is no line. There is just Tuesday, and then there's a Tuesday 6 months later, and the gap between them is filled with small decisions that each made complete sense at the time. The pills from your mother's bottle become pills from Tyler's cousin, which become pills from a guy at school whose name you never learn because you never need to know his name, which become 30 milligrams instead of 10 because 10 stopped working sometime in February, and you spent 2 weeks convincing yourself it was stress before you admitted what was actually happening. Your shoulder healed in November. You are still taking pills in March. That math has a name. You do not use the name. Your GPA drops from 3.4 to 2.9, not catastrophically, concerningly. Your coach notices your reaction time in practice. Your mom notices you seem calmer, which she interprets as maturity. Your dad notices nothing because he works 60 hours a week and notices things in the aggregate, and the aggregate still looks like his kid from a sufficient distance. There's a girl. Her name is Maya. She sits next to you in AP English and reads with the kind of focus that makes the room feel quieter. She asks you once what happened to your writing. You used to write like you were angry about something, she says. Now it's smooth. She does not mean smooth as a compliment. She means the opposite. You change the subject. 3 weeks later, she stops sitting next to you. You tell yourself she moved for logistical reasons. The college fund your parents started gets a partial scholarship attached to it in April. You got into a state school with a partial academic award based on your junior year GPA. Your parents take you to dinner to celebrate. Your dad orders a nice bottle of wine. Your mom cries quietly into her pasta. You sit there and feel the specific absence of the pill you didn't take before dinner because you were trying to prove something. And now you are sitting in a nice restaurant proving it. And the static is back. And the restaurant is too loud. And your dad is giving a toast about hard work. And you are somewhere else entirely. You take 2 when you get home. The math gets worse after that. Stage 3. The pivot. Here is the twist nobody sees coming, including you. The pills become unavailable on a Thursday in September of your freshman year of college. Your supplier, a word you have never applied to this situation because applying it would require acknowledging the situation, gets arrested at a gas station 30 miles from campus. The news travels fast. By Friday, the network is dry. You spend Friday night convinced you have food poisoning. You spend Saturday in your dorm room with your legs cramping and your skin doing something you cannot describe, and a specific misery that makes the shoulder pain from junior year feel like a memory from someone else's life. Your roommate asks if you need a doctor. You say no. He brings you Gatorade. He is from Minnesota and is straightforwardly kind in the way of people who have not yet had a reason not to be. You will think about him later specifically as an example of what uncomplicated kindness looks like. Sunday afternoon. The withdrawal is chemical, and it is textbook, and it is the first moment where the word addict stops being a word that applies to other people. You call Tyler. Tyler got out in junior year, quietly, without drama, with the help of a therapist his parents found in August and never told anyone about. He answers on the second ring. He listens for 4 minutes without interrupting. Then he says, "I know what this is. I also know what it isn't." It isn't the end. He drives 2 hours to your dorm on a Sunday. He brings Gatorade as well. He and your roommates sit on opposite sides of your bed like bookends for an evening that is the worst evening of your life so far, and that is, though you cannot see it yet, the beginning of the part where something different becomes possible. You call your parents Monday morning. Your dad picks up. You say 6 words, "I need help and I'm sorry." He says 4. We're already on our way.
Stage 4. The architecture of recovery. Recovery is not a feeling. It is a structure you build and rebuild every day in a world that does not pause for the construction. The treatment center is 40 minutes from your hometown, 30 days inpatient. The room has 2 beds, 1 window, and a view of a parking lot that you will come to find genuinely comforting because the parking lot does not ask anything of you. Your roommate in treatment is a 53-year-old contractor named Dave, who has been through this twice before and approaches the 3rd attempt with the specific pragmatism of someone who has stopped pretending that willpower is the variable. Dave says one thing in the first week that rearranges something. The disease wants you to think you're the exception, that you understand it well enough to manage it. Every person in this building thought that. That's why we are all here. You write that down, not in a planner, on the inside cover of the AA workbook they give you on day 2. It is still there. You will carry that book for a long time. Group therapy. 12 people in a circle, ages 17 to 68. A retired teacher, a construction worker, a pre-med student from a good family in a good suburb 2 towns over from yours. You sit in that circle and understand for the first time that the story you told yourself about how you were different, how your situation had specific circumstances that made it distinct from the category, was the story everyone in the circle told themselves. That story is the disease's best feature. It is custom built for each person. Yours fit perfectly. Your parents come for family weekend. Your mom brings a casserole that the facility cannot actually allow inside, but that she brings anyway because she does not know what else to do with the feeling, and casseroles are what she knows how to make out of love. Your dad shakes your hand and then hugs you, which is the most emotionally complex sequence he has performed in front of witnesses since the night you told him about the 6 words on the phone. You sit in a family session with a counselor for 90 minutes. Things are said that should have been said 6 years ago. Some of them are said by you, some by your dad. Your mom says the thing that is the hardest to hear, which is that she noticed the pills in October of senior year of high school and talked herself out of what she noticed, because talking yourself out of what you notice is easier than the alternative. She has been carrying that for 2 years. You can see the weight of it leave her face when she says it out loud. You leave the treatment center on a Tuesday. Dave gives you his phone number on a scrap of paper. He says, "Call me when you think you don't need to call anyone." You call him 6 times in the first year. He picks up every time. Stage 5. The long road. Here is the other twist, the one that takes longer to arrive. 2 years clean. You go back to school. Different school, closer to home. You study social work because you cannot think of a more specific use for what you now know about what it feels like to need help and not know how to ask for it. Your GPA is 3.7. You write a paper on adolescent substance use intervention that your professor submits to a regional journal without telling you first. It gets published. You find out from an email that almost goes to spam. Maya is at a coffee shop on a Saturday. You see her before she sees you. You almost leave. You don't. She looks up. She smiles in a way that suggests she is genuinely glad you didn't leave. You sit down. You talk for 2 hours. She is in her 2nd year of nursing school. She is going to be very good at it. The kind of nurse who tells you the truth about what's happening and stays in the room while you process it. You know this from the 2 hours. She knew something was wrong with you in AP English when everyone else thought you were fine. That kind of perception does not become a nurse. It was already one. You exchange numbers. You text that evening. She texts back within a minute. 3 years clean. You are working as a case manager at a youth substance use clinic in Columbus. Your caseload is 14 adolescents. Some of them remind you of Tyler's bathroom in October. Some of them remind you of the parking lot view from the treatment center. One kid, 16, cross-country runner, shoulder injury. Parents who love him and work 60 hours a week and notice things in the aggregate, sits across from you in your office and tells you his situation has specific circumstances that make it distinct from the category. You let him finish. Then you say, "I know, mine did too." He looks at you. You do not explain further. You schedule a follow-up for Tuesday. He shows up. 5 years clean. A chip. Your sponsor hands it to you in a church basement on a Wednesday night with folding chairs and bad coffee. Your parents are there. Dave is there. 4 years clean himself now. 3rd time, holding. Tyler is there. Maya is there. The chip is small and plastic and weighs almost nothing and is the heaviest thing you have held in recent memory. Your mom asks if she can hold it. You give it to her. She turns it 3 times. She gives it back. She does not say anything. Neither do you. That is how you know what this means. Stage 6. The view from here.
You are not recovered. That is not how this works. You are recovering, which is a different architecture entirely. Recovering is a present tense. It is a Tuesday with no drama where you make the correct choice, not because you feel strong, but because the structure you have built is stronger than the moment. It is a Wednesday in a church basement. It is a phone call to Dave at 11 p.m. that begins with, "I don't really need to call anyone," and Dave answers on the second ring anyway. The kid from the clinic, the cross-country runner, is 2 years clean. He's in college now. He emailed you from his campus in November. The email is 3 sentences. The third sentence is, "I don't know if I would have made it without that Tuesday appointment." You read it 6 times. You write back the same day. It takes you 40 minutes to write 4 sentences. They are the right sentences. The orange pill bottle is in a box in your parents' spare room. You know this because your mom mentioned it once, casually, not knowing she was mentioning it. She was going to throw it away. She didn't. You did not tell her to keep it. She kept it anyway. You think about asking her why. You already know why. Same reason Dave kept the paper from the chip ceremony. Same reason you kept the AA workbook with the 1 sentence on the inside cover. You do not throw away the things that taught you something. The static is back sometimes. It was always going to come back. The pill made it disappear for 4 hours in October of senior year and spent the next 4 years making you pay for that disappearance. Now the static comes back, and you sit with it. You run with it. You call Dave with it. You tell Maya about it on a Thursday night when the apartment is quiet, and she is the kind of person who stays in the room while you say the thing. The static does not kill you. It never could. That was always the lie at the center, that it would kill you if you didn't silence it. It won't. It was just noise. Loud, specific, personal noise. But noise. The chip is on the desk in your office at the clinic. Next to it, the AA workbook. Next to that, a photograph from the family weekend at the treatment center. Casserole not pictured. You looked terrible in the photograph. You were 30 days into becoming someone who might be okay. That version of you did not know yet that okay was actually possible. This version does. That is the whole distance. 30 days to 5 years. A pill bottle to a chip to a kid in Columbus who showed up to a Tuesday appointment and kept showing up after that. The static runs underneath everything. You have learned to hear it without answering. If this one stayed with you, subscribe to Rank 0.